Crown Force kicking off our celebration of Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month with the story of Bruce Lee. Yeah, in the 1970s in Hollywood, not a lot of people looked like him, and even fewer could do what he could do. He was an action star, he was a philosopher, he was a trailblazer too. And he was born in San Francisco, left an incredible mark on the Bay Area. Crown Force Stephanie Lynn has more.
We're just outside of the Bruce Lee exhibit here in San Francisco, not too far from where Bruce Lee himself was born. Now, inside this building are more than 100 artifacts, some of them very rare, which showcase the contributions of this Hollywood icon.
My favorite one is this poster over here.
Jeff Chin points us to his favorite item on display, an image that got him through a difficult childhood.
I was the only Chinese in my class. So as a result, I got picked on, I got called every racial slur.
The poster shows Bruce Lee in the 1972 film Return of the Dragon.
And I looked at the poster and then I was crying. And then it was almost like Bruce Lee was speaking to me, saying, "It's okay, Jeff, because I'm Chinese."
It's a feeling shared by the younger generation, too.
It affects me a lot because Bruce, fought against racism.
This is Kyle Pei's first time at the exhibit.
I think before Bruce Lee, everybody thought we were weak and, we don't do anything but clean clothes. He, broke a barrier with that.
Lee was just 32 years old when he died in 1973, but in that short life, he forever changed martial arts, creating his own free-flowing style that borrowed from many different disciplines.
Empty your mind, be formless, shapeless, like water.
He broke barriers in Hollywood, and he remains a social justice icon.
When I hear the words Bruce Lee and his name comes to me, I think of a lot. I think about someone fighting for the rights of all people.
Justin Hoover oversees the exhibit.
In this display cabinet, you have two artifacts I think are pretty exceptional.
He shows us an original budget document from the 1960s TV show The Green Hornet, where Lee was cast in the sidekick role of Kato.
Bruce Lee was fighting amazing levels of systemic racism in Hollywood. And it's indicated in this by the amount of money he's being paid compared to everybody else on set.
As the only Chinese cast member, Lee made less than even the stuntmen. But as history and the exhibit shows, he persevered, building bridges of solidarity along the way.
Bruce Lee was the type of person that brought people together. Bruce didn't care about the color of your skin.
Lee challenged the traditional wisdom of the time, opening an Oakland martial arts school for people of all races and genders, bringing his unique brand of fitness and self-expression to everyone. A message not lost on visitors like Glenn Peckman. We met him chaperoning a group of artists with disabilities.
That's cool. Yeah, I thought I'd show you that. Very cool.
A lot of the exhibits about inclusivity, and it really comes across. Things are polarized, things are pretty divisive now, and the more we can do things to bring people together, it's better for everybody.
The exhibit highlights different facets of Lee's persona: the thinker, the athlete, the visionary, and the trailblazer who helped pave the way for Asians in American cinema.
When I was growing up during the 1960s, I was very ashamed of my Chinese heritage due to all the negative stereotypes that you see in movies, TV, and even comic books. In the Academy Awards, there was a lot of Asian American representation. It's a slow process, but it's getting there.
If Bruce Lee were alive today, I think he'd still be winning Oscars himself. He'd still be empowering other people to step into roles that they may not feel comfortable in, a force for empowering others to create what they see in their visions.
And now we're just blocks away from the exhibit in San Francisco's Chinese hospital where Bruce Lee was born in 1940. And you can see this plaque here on the wall honoring that. Reporting in San Francisco, Stephanie Lynn, Crown 4 News.
Wow, what a great story. And Crown 4 is going to be celebrating movers and shakers of the Bay Area's AAPI community all through the month of May. Join us on Thursday, May 25th, where it'll culminate at 6:30 p.m. for our AAPI Heritage Month special, hosted by Stephanie Lynn and Will Tramp. We'll be right back.